Thank you for joining us here for a new series I'm calling What We Know So Far. And this opening episode has to do with Return to Dark Tower by Restoration Games. This game was designed by Rob DeVoe and Isaac Childress, with Noah Cohen, Brian Neff, and Justin D. Jacobson. This was fully funded on Kickstarter on February 4th, 2020, and this is, like the original game, a competitive game, but it also has a mode for cooperative as well as solo play. This game is good for 1 to 4 players ages 10 and up, and should take about 100 to 120 minutes. Now, the core box, the basic game. The tower that it comes with has been on everyone's mind since this was announced that they were going to do this project. Now, along with the tower, which is a 300 millimeter tall tower of electronic and mechanical masterwork, this also comes with 4 28 millimeter hero miniatures along with their accompanying playboards. There are over 120 cards, 16 plastic miniature buildings, 12 faux cards, along with 42 faux tokens. And of course, there are various additional chits, tokens, and plastic skulls. Now, the tower, as we just mentioned, this is a true marvel of tabletop electronics and engineering. Now, there's easily over 15 points of mechanical interest included in this tower, but to go over a few of the more interesting ones, the tower does come complete with an infrared sensor, backlit ruins, 16 individually addressable red LEDs, 56 millimeter diameter speaker, and a motherboard with Bluetooth connection. Now, that Bluetooth connection is going to be very important because this game works specifically with an app. Now, they've promised that this app is not only going to fully involve you in the game, but it is going to be supported for many years to come. Now, we also know that at the time of Kickstarter, it also launched with a few add-ons and expansion types along with the game, such as the Alliance expansion, which comes with 2 new playable heroes, their player boards, miniatures, and everything you need to throw them into the game with the base 4. Now, the really impressive, outside of the tower, I think the really impressive part of this game is the expansion for the Dark Horde. Now, with this expansion, you're going to have over 65 high-res miniatures. And these miniatures are going to be ranging in size from 18 millimeters all the way up to a massive towering 85 millimeters high. Another interesting point that they have is that it also comes with an optional box called the Coffers. And this is basically an item upgrade box, and it will take all of the accompanying chits and tokens and upgrade them to a good, nice, durable plastic. We know that currently the release date for this, to start making it into backers' hands and then on shelves so that everyone else can enjoy this masterpiece, we're looking right now, it is a little behind schedule. That happens on Kickstarter. Right now we are looking at a July. They are predicting a July. I am predicting an August release for this to get into everybody's hands. Now, the tower itself, they already have the second prototype of the tower they've been telling backers. And this is looking amazing. Everything about this tower visually is very captivating. Now, besides just looking fantastic in and of itself, it's also boasting these really awesome semi-transparent blood red crystals that you're going to be able to spot on the tower. They're almost done with the wiring, and they've done test after test after test to make sure that it's going to be sitting inside the tower well and not going to be causing any problems with the way it's laid inside of everything. Now, continuing, speaking about the tower, they did say that they've been actively testing this tower going all the way back to November of 2020. So they are making leaps and bounds of progress that they've been reporting on this, and the tower is really, really beginning to look great. Now, much like the original game, this is going to be needing batteries to run. It's going to need specifically 3 AAA batteries. Now, I seem to remember the batteries being needed to be changed every day or every other day back in the 80s when I was a kid playing my original copy of this. Now, they've also made a promise. They've said in the notifications for the backers on Kickstarter that they've been working hard on battery life duration and how the game is going to be using and how much it's going to be using of that. And that already is sounding leaps and bounds over what the original was. But it's not just the battery life and the wiring that they're testing. They're doing a comprehensive physical and chemical test, they've reported to backers, for the tower. They've been doing shock tests, drop tests, all kinds of tests to make sure that not only is this going to be able to handle the rigors of traveling to you through the postal service and over land, over sea, the bad roads, everything. No, it's also being tested for general longevity. How long is it going to be viable and playable on your table? And they've been working hard to make sure that this is not going to be falling apart like the original did more than a few occasions on me. Now, they've also gone leaps and bounds already with the art. Although they don't have the miniatures ready to show off yet, they did have the back of the box art ready. Now, this was intended to let us backers know that they believe that the art on the back of the box is just as important as the art anywhere else in the game. And because of that, when you see at the back of a box all the legal notifications, it takes away a little bit from the artistic experience. So to counter this, they've decided that they're not going to have any of the legal mumbo-jumbo on the back of the box. It's actually going to be its own separate sheet that's going to lay up against the back of the box under the plastic wrap. So you're still going to be able to see all the legal notifications. You're going to know what they are. They are there. They are just not permanently on the bottom of the box. And that right now is like all the major information that they've let the backers know. And I want other people to know this too, because I know that the backers are not the only ones that are eagerly awaiting this arguably most anticipated board game of all time. So there you go. More information comes in, we'll let you know, because there are still several months ahead before this game actually hits the market and makes it into backers' hands. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more exciting information for me to share with all of you. What are your fondest memories of Dark Tower? And if you are a backer or planning on getting the game after it's released, what are your hopes that the return to Dark Tower is going to bring to your table? I'm so excited over this. It's my favorite board game literally of all time. It is the only board game that successfully tore me and the gang away from RPGs, away from TSR, Dungeons and Dragons, Boot Hill, Gamma World, Top Secret. It drew us away from all of those. No other board game consistently did. So that's it, and we'll be seeing you again.